What I'm currently trying to do over here is that I'm trying to find the qualitative composition of a concentrate, but my camera doesn't have, it only has something known as a fixed focus, so I can't be able to zoom it so as I can be able to show you properly, but I'll be able to read it to you. Okay, so first of all, we have the crude protein is around 43%. So those are some of the components that are in the concentrate. This is whereby you want to formulate your own feeds by the use of a concentrate. So I'm telling you the breakdown of how you will be able to make this feed step by step, and showing you everything from where we source our materials to where we make the finished product. So stick around so as you can be able to understand, because I've had a lot of these questions whereby people ask me, how will you be able to formulate my own feeds on my poultry farm? And here are the tips. So what is the composition of the concentrate? Here is where I usually tell you that you only need to use the concentrate, maize germ, broken maize, and lime, so as you can be able to formulate your own feeds. You don't have to use any other kind of protein or any other kind of additive. These are enough. You don't have to use any other kind of amino acid. These are all that I'm telling you are enough for you to be able to formulate your own feed on your poultry farm by the use of a concentrate. So what is the qualitative composition that is found in a concentrate? First, the crude protein is around 43%, okay? And the crude fiber is 6.30%. We have the crude fat, which is 8.30. You know, the crude fiber usually varies. When you decide to use that one that has a lot of fish meal, you'll end up finding that the crude fiber is around 7 to 8%. But this one, you find out that the crude fiber is only 6.3%. So the crude fat is 8.3. And we go to the amino acid. It has the amino acid lysine, 3.14%. It has the methionine, which is 1.79%. And it has the threonine, which is 1.45%. Those are the amino acids in the concentrate. So there is no need for you to add any other kind of amino acid. The meaning of a concentrate is there are so many things that are concentrated together. Even thus, I can explain it to you as concentrated juice, so as you can be able to mix it, so as you can be able to drink that juice. You can't drink concentrated juice. The same way you can't feed your chicken a concentrate. It has too much protein and it lacks the carbohydrate part of it. And the minerals that it has calcium only 1.2%. So that's why we have to tell you guys, if you see that it has calcium as 1.2%, you have to add lime, so as you can be able to maintain the high levels of calcium in the body of the chicken, so as the chicken can be able to produce good shelled eggs for you, and also to be able to maintain high strong bonds for the chicken. It has phosphorus 1.57% and has sodium 0.70%. And also the ingredients that are mainly used, these people, they won't tell you the ingredients because they are trying to hide it, so as you can't be able to know how they usually make the concentrate. But with thorough research, you can be able to know, because they are usually add up to 30 elements, but they are only mentioning a very few elements that they have put on this pack over here. So they usually, here on the ingredients part, they have said that protein raw materials, they don't say which kind of protein. They have said amino acid, they have said vitamins A, D, E, and B group vitamins. They have also added the choline. Choline is really important to your chicken. For example, for the small chicks that are developing, if your chicken lacks choline, you'll end up finding out that they try and develop this kind of disease known as perosis, or also they can try to swell around the knee area. So when you see that kind of problem on your poultry farm, make sure that you go ahead and purchase choline additive and add it into your feed, so as you can be able to prevent such a case. So they have that choline, they have betaine, and also train elements of phyllase enzymes and multi-enzyme complex, and a colorant and some antioxidants. Okay, so that's what they have said that it is the ingredients part of it in the manufacture of this concentrate. And also they have some trace elements whereby they say they have iron, copper, they have zinc, they have manganese, iodine, and selenium. So those are some of the elements and the ingredients that is found in the making of a concentrate, so as you can be able to formulate your own complete feed meal. So as I told you, now let's start of how you can be able to make poultry feed by the use of a concentrate. So first of all, you have to be able to source your ingredients. First, we are going to source our maize. So we head out to this place. There is a local farmer who usually sell this kind of maize. As you can see, this is the maize that we have placed over here. So this maize, we want to be able, we have already counted the number of, here in Kenya we call it gorogoro, so as we can be able to measure and come and measure the weight. So we have estimated that each gorogoro is around 2 kgs, and we have to measure around 40. Gorogoro is around 2.2, so when it is around 40, it can reach around 90 kgs. So we have to measure all these kind of gorogoro, and we have placed them out here. After that, we had to look for this tri-cut, whereby it will be able to ferry our maize from this place up to where we are going to crush the maize. So you have to buy whole maize, then you go and crush it. It will become broken maize. After you have crushed it into broken maize, I will also show you how you'll be able to crush it into broken maize. So as you can see here, we are doing the crushing of the broken maize. So we are doing the crushing of the broken maize so as we can be able to get the smaller particles, so as it can be able to mix homogeneously with the feed that you are going to make for our chicken. You don't want very big particles, because the big particles, the chicken usually like very big particles. They will end up only eating the big particles and not eating the small particles that may contain the traces and the concentrate in it. So you may end up finding out that these other chicken which are feeding on the bigger components or the bigger particles, they end up growing at a slower rate because they are only feeding on the carbohydrate part of it. And these other chickens that are growing, that are feeding on the smaller particles that has a lot of concentrate in it, you may end up finding out that they are growing at a very faster rate. And this can lead to an inconsistent growth on your poultry farm. You may end up thinking that maybe my poultry that I was sold are the ones that have an issue, but that may not be the real issue. The real issue might be the type of feed that you are making. It is not homogeneous. You have to make sure that your feed that you have made is homogeneous. All the particles should be around the same size, so as the chicken may not only pick on the bigger size of particles that only has the maize, and should also pick on the smaller particles. They should just pick all the food as a whole, so as they can be able to have a uniform growth on your poultry farm. Most poultry farmers really don't know this. They usually think in one dimension. You're saying, in this channel, we are thinking in a three-dimensional way. We are not thinking in a linear way. We're only thinking that the problem may be at the source of the chicks. No. You have to be really keen with how you think. So you have to think rightly. So that may be the first issue. So you have to make sure that you are crushing your maize into very homogeneous type of particles, so as it can be mixed well with the maize germ, and also mix well with the concentrate, and also mix well with the lime. So that is it. So after we have done crushing with the maize, so the next step that we are going to do, we are going to make sure that we are doing the mixing. I'm using the maize germ. Most poultry farmers usually say you have to use the maize bran. I don't like the maize bran. The maize bran is very bigger particles, and I heard it had any nutritional value. I don't want my chicken, because we are making a poultry feed that we want to be able to increase the number of eggs on our poultry farm, and also increase the growth rate on our poultry farm. We don't want just to end up making this kind of feed, because these guys of this concentrate, they usually say that for one bag you can be able to make 250 kg from that one bag. But I realized when you do that, you won't be able to save any money when you are using the concentrate. So what is the purpose of you using the concentrate? Only maybe the uniformity of the feed that you will be making. So you will be able to save a lot of money if you are following this kind of method that I'm using on my poultry farm. by the use of a maize germ instead of maize bran. Most people, when you use maize bran, I think maize bran is good for making feed. It's very rough. I don't like that thing. It's very rough. I don't like it. It has no any nutritional value. It is good to make dairy meal. It's good to make those kind of feed that can be given to the pigs, but not for the chicken. Okay? There'll be so many experts over here throwing tantrums, but they're only theoretical people. They don't do it practically. So this is what I'll tell you. You have to be able to use that one bag of concentrate to be able to make 350 kgs of feed. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because when you use maize germ contains crude protein 13%. It has crude protein of around 13%. And for example, for a laying hen, it only needs around 14 to 16% of crude protein. We have found out that the concentrate has a crude protein of around 43%. And the maize, the whole maize that you have picked, it has a crude protein of around 7 to 8%. So if you are doing all that and you're mixing it together, you may end up getting an average of around 18% crude protein. And we want to be able to get a crude protein of around 18%, so as we can be able to make one of the best feed, so as our chicken can become very, very productive. This is how you can be able to formulate from chick mash to growers mash up to layers mash by the use of a concentrate. I'm going to tell you everything, and I'm going to show you the examples. So as when you're going to purchase these raw materials or these ingredients, you'll be able to understand which kind of raw material that you're purchasing, so as you don't be duped. I don't want you poultry farmers to be duped. I want you to buy the right ingredient or the raw material, so as you can be able to formulate the right kind of feed. So for the chick mash, what you'll need broken maize 120 kgs. You'll need maize germ 165 kgs. I hope I'm showing you what a maize germ looks like, how maize germs looks like. Concentrate maize germ, I've said 165 kgs. Make sure you write it down. And concentrate you'll need 50 kgs. Remember, not forgetting that we need some lime. You'll need lime around 15 kgs. When you do your math, you'll be able to get 350 kgs of chick mash. Now let's head to you formulating the growers mash. Growers mash will be given to your chicken from 2 months of age to point of lay. So the first thing that we'll need broken maize. It remains standard, 120 kgs. Number 2, we will need maize germ. The maize germ will reduce from 165 kgs to 155 kgs. Maize germ. We will need a concentrate 50 kgs, and our lime will increase to 100. Our lime will increase to 25 kgs. When you do your math, you'll be able to get 350 kgs. So that's how you'll be able to formulate growers mash for your chicken. So here is the sample of the feed that you have made. As you can see it is homogeneously mixed. We want to be able to give such kind of feed. And when you look at it properly, it just looks like the kind of feed that you usually buy in the market, the complete meal feed. So don't waste your money when you're purchasing this such kind of feed, and yet you can be able to formulate it on your own, on your poultry farm, and make a lot of money in this venture. So let's head to us formulating the layers mash. When you're formulating the layers mash, you'll need a concentrate 50 kgs. You'll need the broken maize, the maize 120 kgs. Another thing that you'll need is the maize germ. The maize germ will reduce to 140 kgs. Why are we reducing the maize germ so much? When your chicken are developing, this is one of the disadvantages if you give your chicken a lot of protein and you're not giving your chicken enough lime, which has the calcium part of it. When your chicken started developing at a very faster rate, for example, if it is for laying, when they reach a period of laying, the skeletal muscle of that chicken hasn't developed properly. If the skeletal muscle of that chicken hasn't developed so properly, it will lead to prolapse vent. And what is prolapse vent? Prolapse vent is whereby you find out that the vent whereby the chicken usually lays its egg, it has popped outside, and some of the intestines from the body of the chicken has come outside because the muscle around it has developed some kind of fatty, and it has not the muscles and the bones around the area that it lays the eggs haven't developed so properly. So it will lead to that prolapse vent. And the bad thing is that prolapse vent doesn't have any kind of cure. So you have to make sure that you are feeding your chicken with the correct mixture of feed, so as your chicken can develop properly. We're having stronger bones and also being able to lay for a long period of time. Because what's the purpose of you raising chicken? Yes, they can lay many eggs, but after they have laid like for 2 to 3 months, they start developing the prolapse event. We don't want prolapse event to develop on your poultry farm. So as I have said, you'll need maize germ around 140 kgs. And also you'll be able to need lime. We'll increase the lime to 40 kgs. So as you can be able to make one of the best kind of feed. And remember, as I told you guys, after a chicken have reached 52 weeks of age, you have to make sure that you're increasing your lime to around 45 kgs. If you increase your lime to around 45 kgs, then you'll be able to save your chicken. Because when the chicken gets old, they don't absorb the calcium so well, so you have to be able to increase it so as they can be able to absorb it so well. And the kind of calcium that you are using is this food grade lime, and is not that other kind of lime, that white lime. And other people usually use that one that is used in construction. Don't use that one, you'll kill your chicken. So you have to use this food grade. This benefit of this is that it has some calcium element in it. It has some other micro trace of elements in it, like some iron in it and some magnesium. So that is the better benefit of you using this kind of lime when you're giving to your chicken. So even if it is a bit more, it won't hurt your chicken's kidney so much. So make sure you do that. I've said for the making of the layer smash, you'll need a 50 kg concentrate, you'll need maize germ 140 kgs, lime 40 kgs, and you'll also need I've said the maize germ 140, lime you'll need 40 kgs, maize, whole maize will need 120 kgs, and the concentrate will need 1 bag of 50 kgs. I've told you the trace elements and the components and the composition of the concentrate so as you can be able to understand it. Most people usually ask me, should we add any kind of soybean, fish meal, bone meal? You don't need to add. The concentrate, that is the benefit of you using a concentrate. It has been able to solve that kind of problem on your poultry farm. So this video, I just wanted to show you how you can be able to formulate the feed step by step. And you can see the kind of machine that we are using. They're just simple handmade machines by this local Juakali industry. These machines, you can be able to get them here in Kenya, and also we can be able to supply to you if you are in need of these kind of machines on your poultry farm, and ask to set up this kind of poultry feed processing or manufacturing on your poultry farm without any kind of hassle. So make sure if you are really in need of this kind of machinery on your poultry farm, we will be able to come with our technician and we'll be able to set it up. This one we have just set it outside, but these kind of machines will be able to come and construct for you a good food store, and also whereby you will be able to place this kind of machine so as you can be able to produce feed on your own. You have seen we have added an extra 100 kgs by the use of only one concentrate, because we have been able to calculate if you are able to add the amount of maize germ, then you'll be able to raise the composition of crude protein. Crude protein is the most important thing here. We also have to factor in the carbohydrate part of it, and also the crude fiber. We don't want crude fiber to exceed 10%, because when crude fiber exceeds 10%, that can lead to another problem that we don't want on our poultry farm, and that is known as the sour crop. We don't want our chicken to experience sour crop on our poultry farm. So that's why we are using this kind of method, so as we can be able to formulate our own feeds. Those other people who formulated their own feeds, or they came up with this idea of making the feed, they studied and they did tests. So you don't have only just to continue following that kind of way. It's just like the same way like the first person who created the engine that is used in a car is by the use of petrol and diesel. But now you can find out that Elon Musk has come up with an idea, and he has thought it out by the use of batteries in electric cars. And you see, he's the richest man in the world currently. You can see his net worth is like 2 times of the person who is number 2. It's almost 2 times. So you just have to think outside the box. I've told you in this channel, you have to think in a 3-dimensional way. You're not thinking in a linear way, because when you're thinking in a linear way, that means that you are following everything that you are told. Okay? You have, even me, when I'm telling you these things, you have to go outside and think for yourself. If you think for yourself, then you'll be able to create a better solution in the poultry sector, because most people will be testing something and they will find out the best solution, so as you can be able to formulate your own feeds on your poultry farm. So if you have watched this video up to this point, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I'm giving you tips each and every day, so don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Like and subscribe. Sawa?